Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Healthier body, better orgasm. Now, I had said in a past podcast that, if a woman the healthier a woman is, the tighter her body is, the better orgasm she'll have, right? And, and just real quick, when I do stuff, I always write it down, and I had written down initially better organism. And I got that from Lorena Bobbitt. Back in the day, she had cut a man's penis off and stuff, and she said the reason she did, he didn't give her good organisms. But anyway, enough of that. Anyway, right? So check it out, because one of the things, and let me get serious with y'all, because we already know most women do not have orgasms through regular penetration. And the best most women can do is clitoral orgasm. They do find the clit and, do what he can with his tongue or whatever and stimulate it. That's the orgasm that the overwhelming majority of women, if they're going to have one, have. But actually, you should be having several types of orgasms and all over your body. You can even have a breast orgasm, definitely a vaginal orgasm, right? Potentially. But see, here's the thing. A man isn't 100% responsible for your orgasm. Let me say that again. He's not 100% responsible. Like, say if you got a man, right? Say he can be a tantra master. He can be a tantra master. He can study all the sacred sexuality, know all the spots and everything. And he might get with one woman and she's screaming after 30 seconds. Multiple times. In fact, you got some tantra people. There's I'll say a subculture of men who practice tantra. And men and women, they can make you have an orgasm without touching you. That's how deep it is. But they can only do their part. Now, see, you might have a guy, he got all those skills, or he could have that right equipment, and he can do all that. Like I said, with one woman, he can have her screaming and hollering, like levitating. Levitating so much, she trying to put her head on a pillow. He pulled the pillow away, she's still levitating, right? Check it out. Now, that same man, now, somebody would think it's just his skill, but it was like, no, that particular woman had the ability to have multiple orgasms. She had the right, things going on. But then that same exact man can get with another woman and, he can sweat, do all this for an hour, do the projection. She's like, I don't feel anything. He can have that right size member go up in her. He can do it nice and slow. He can map it out. And map it out, that's something, that's something from the Tantra community, But... he can do all that stuff. He can have foreplay and everything. You like, and you be like, how was it? And you still talk. First of all, if you still talking while he's doing all that, if he can be with you an hour and you can have a coherent conversation, you're not satisfied, right? But that's not all on him. Cause think about it, the same man with another woman have her screaming, but not you. See, remember, big part of having an orgasm is you. Now, understand an orgasm. That's within you. That's your body. Because there's a thing, it's called genital reflexology. Genital reflexology, a very important thing. That's a point where a certain point on a man's penis corresponds or hits a certain point within your vagina. And because of that, and that's when the points interact, when they make contact, those points go up into different organs in your body. Like there's one point that deals with your heart, one point that deals with your lungs and everything, right? Now, this man, he can be attractive, he can arouse you to an extent, but when he goes in, if there's any issues eternally with you, you're not going to feel the same thing. You're not gonna feel it. You don't have that place of health. Like if you have some heart problems, you might feel you ain't gonna feel it, or some thing going on with your your liver, thing going on with your lungs, your circulation isn't good. You ain't gonna feel it. Now this guy, he can have everything. He can be an alpha showpiece, everything aroused you initially, but you still not gonna feel it. That's because it's within your body. See, it's important if a woman wants to be satisfied sexually, she needs to work to be as healthy as possible. She needs to work as healthy as possible. Now, as women should know, men go crazy over your bodies. That draws us to you. That's how it's supposed to be. But it's more than just the initial attraction. It's so that you can actually enjoy it. So you need to be in a place where your heart's working okay. You need to be in a place where your lungs are like breathing properly. All your stuff is working, right? And especially there's blood circulating all over. See, one of the things is, and this is very important, when you have anything going on, or if you even have extra weight on you, that's slowing down something, or the circulation isn't bad, or you got just your overall energy, instead of being like a normal energy, sexual, like a more hyperactive energy, a more hypoactive, where you're just not energized by it. That can make something happen. Like it's important, like if you want to get, one of the things you want to do, now there's a mental aspect and a physical aspect. One of the mental aspects is just dealing with any sexual issues you've had in life. Because a lot of women, despite everything, like when I talk about the imprint, every woman wasn't, in fact, most women didn't have an orgasm with their first imprint. It could have been just some guy around the corner. There's been multiple, and y'all know it, ladies. Y'all been multiple ladies who might have just hooked up with some random guy in the neighborhood. It's like, oh, parents not home. Hey, you want to come over and do it? Seriously. Like the guy, it wasn't all that, right? So first of all, you don't even have a good, your imprint isn't a good idea about sex. And then, if you grew up in some type of repressive environment, a lot of times it's from religion, but it could just been whatever, just they don't want you to have it, or in which is sad, and this is very sad, your first experience might have been a result of molestation or something. So already mentally you kind of shutting down. So one of the first things you got to deal with is whatever problems happen. I would strongly advise therapy. I'm serious. I would strongly advise some type of therapy to really talk it out, to really deal with the issues, especially in cases where your first experiences were negative. Incest, rape, anything like that, molestation, right? So that's the first thing. Deal with the mental things first. And then just healthy, work out. Just work out. And really, you're not doing it to attract men. Yeah, it's going to, but you want to be healthy. Look at the foods you're eating. A lot of foods clog you up. And if you're eating like maybe too much meat or something, that could clog up your intestines. That is affecting everything. Your liver touch everything. If you're a smoker and you mess with your lungs, if there's any type of circulation problem, everything, just deal with it. Maybe talk with a good doctor, maybe a nutritionist. You want to change your diet and everything. If you got the food making you sluggish, figure out which food gives you more energy and everything, right? You want to do all that. Now, like I said, that'll make it easier for you, for everything to happen, And then if there's what part the men have to do. And I'll talk about that more on the men's side. In fact, I've talked about that. I talk about that on my Patreon, what men can do on my $20 level. But for the ladies, just really work seriously. Just work on the mental stuff. Any hang-ups about it, deal with that first. Actually deal with that first, because once you deal with the mental stuff, and then the physical stuff is actually easy. In fact, I would say this on a deeper level. Whenever a women are put on weight or too much weight, which is a great enemy to being truly satisfied sexually, it's because of some mental thing. Like I can look at a woman and she putting on weight, and that in like good places, like her hips or something becoming rounder because of an influx of estrogen. Either because she got a guy who's satisfying her, bringing out the feminine in her, or she's pregnant. When I start seeing weight, especially around the stomach area, it's like, oh, okay, what's going on? It's always something. It's always something. You can't really do anything with the body until you deal with the emotional thing, the emotional issue. Once you deal with that emotional issue, you'll find that the weight will come off quick. It's always that. And that's for men too. All right? That is for men as well. But this the women's channel. So deal with that. Deal with getting that. You want you want to enjoy sex more. You want to have a healthier orgasm. Yeah, because like I said, I don't care who the man could be an alpha showpiece who's also a tantra master. And he at best might satisfy you a little bit if you don't deal with your other mental and spiritual issues. So deal with all of that. Take care of the mental first, and then deal with the physical will follow. I mean, you still want to exercise, you still want to eat better, and all of that. So you want to be healthy, mind and body, and at least do your part with it. In fact, I'm going to tell you how powerful it is. If you deal with those things, you will enjoy sex better, even if you have sex with an ugly, nerdy guy whose body is like, eh. That's how deep it is. That's how, if you deal with your stuff, that'll make it better. So, anyway, that's all I got for y'all ladies. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.